have you got any more urban myths?
I actually do have one. The strangest of them all. But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one.
Okay.
Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice.
I guess you can have the Pilsner.
Not much, but it will do.
He grabs the bottle from your hand and uncorks it immediately.
This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard.
He takes an almost comically long swig, thus fortified, he continues.
I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look over their shoulders suspiciously. The sound of their digging seems loud in the sudden silence.
Cryptids, a place to call home. Your lost keys. Okay, what kind of expedition? Cryptids?
Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff.
A place to call home?
No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions.
Okay, your lost keys?
Hey! Fuck you, Tequila.
He says, his voice level. He says, his voice level. Okay. Okay, what kind of expedition?
All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people.
Wait, what do you mean certain kinds of people?
You know, obsessive types. People with predilections.
What exactly are we talking about here?
Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't return at all. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me.
Wait, there's no way. It can't be. Or can it?
Oh, electrochemistry knows something?
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle.
I think electrochemistry needs to know. I can handle it.
Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez. There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man.
Okay, sure.
That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all.
He existed, all right. You feel it deep within your basal ganglia. He was as real as you are.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about...
Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise.
Sure it would have.
But then something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand.
Wait, nose candy?
You know Tequila, nose candy, the white railroad, party powder.
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Sinus salt, the white night.
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
He's talking about cocaine.
Oh, you mean cocaine.
Shit, yeah, Tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
He gives you a camaraderie bump on the shoulder as a couple milliliters of booze slosh out of his bottle. Makes sense. I too need a variety of substances to operate at a high level.
I'm not surprised. Many men find it hard reaching that final level of genius without blow.
So what happened to him?
You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. By the end, they were bringing it in by the lorry load. Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
Right.
Thank you, Endurance.
Wrong. Do it all the time.
All the time?
All day, baby.
Well, if you say so, electrochemistry.
Hey, Tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance, an advert so minimal it contained neither text nor images, just pure white.
Very high concept, if you ask me.
Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine."
What a loss for the world of design.
I know, Tequila. I know.
He takes a swig, considers pouring some out for his lost genius, then thinks better of it.
But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly a quarter kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity. That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritsian pure. Not that cut-rate shit your grandma does.
That's a lot of money, though, isn't it? 250 grams? Jesus.
There are those who believe the designer was buried with this quarter key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses. That's what those expeditions are looking for.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull.
Wow.
No. Wow.
And why do people think the skull is here in Martinez?
Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. A local boy, Martin Martinez. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps right under Ab's pipe there.
He points to the pipe.
Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
Oh, Kim, we'll recreate that and we'll get that done. We will have that much cocaine in our sinuses when we are done here.
Now, detective. Always the skeptic.
Yeah. If you don't believe you can cram that much coke up your nose, then you can't. But
My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
what do these expeditions plan to do with it?
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum, the gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market, and the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort the magic skull cocaine instead.
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort it, though.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Rosemary, you said something about islets?
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no, maybe it was the storm sewers.
Or maybe it's in the air. Or in an ancient step pyramid offshore.
In a pyramid? Now that would be something.
We have to keep all the options open for now. What have you learned from the other expeditions?
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim they're looking for the grave of a friend, with picks and shovels. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, I think they're not really scientists, just rich. The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking to snort some blow out of a dead man's nasal cavity.
Well, at least they're honest.
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
Hell yeah, electrochemistry.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast.
Okay, I'm convinced. Let's go find it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute. Finding it right now is literally impossible.
Damn.
What?
Why?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry too, yet it is impassable.
The DLC lorry? Well, that's not gonna happen, sadly. But we can all just imagine the game where we go after that. Ah well.
And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the Cocaine Skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provisions. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on this.
Damn, that's too bad.
Wait. Maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast. Don't give up now.
Okay, Electrochem. I'll keep my
Yeah,
eyes out.
well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance.
Are there any more stories you can tell?
Not that I can think of, currently.
I guess that makes sense. You have been drinking a lot.
That might be the case. Yes.
Okay then, be seeing you.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk about.
Okay.
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
My style? What about it?
I'm glad you finally started dressing a little more like an officer of the RCM. Keep it
Ah,
up.
damn.
Your half-brother is proud to stand beside you.
Regular cop, regular clothes. You like this? I feel like it's really cramping my style. Say, why aren't you wearing a pig suit? I don't think he would refer to cops as pigs himself. You like this? I feel like it's really cramping my style.
You're an officer of the RCM, not some bon vivant. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
Okay, Nod, you're a sharp-dressed man. We could be style buddies. I'm not taking style tips from someone who's dressed like a mega binoclard. Sorry, Kim.
Yes, and this mega binocular knows how to sew a lapel and center a back vent.
The lieutenant raises one eyebrow at you.
That's why his clothes fit so well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to wake up next to anyone other than Commodore Red, you might do well to take notes. Anyway, we should probably get back to the case. Let's go.
Well, he cooked us. Okay, let's go ask around. Maybe we can ask Rosemary about
The
Ruby?
legend! He's back. And firstly, I got smokes and piss and a little speed to spice things up.
I'll get a Pilsner.
Bottoms up, Captain.
Okay, very good. We got that. How much do we have to smoke at this point? Do we have any more cigarettes? We have 6 charges of cigarettes. I don't need any more than that. The Pilsner also has 6. Very good. And this has 1 left. Okay. So we have 7 charges of alcohol. We have 6 charges of smokes. We have 12 plus 3. We have 15 charges of speed. And we have 6 charges of pyrolidon. I think we're good on that front. We have 12 charges of magnesium. Yeah, things are looking pretty good. 6 charges of of Nosefed is maybe not optimal, but we can make it work, I'm sure. Okay. Right, let's ask you about Ruby.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Okay, but you know who I'm talking about.
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
You know something? We're here to help. This is like when that man locked himself in the woodshed. We just need to help her come out. This isn't about the union, you know? You don't have to worry about retaliation. Let's go with the second one.
No, it's not like that, man. With him, we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass.
I see. You know something, but you've decided not to tell us? Okay, but we'll be back later if we find anything suspicious. I'll go with the first one.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Do we say that about the documents you signed? Everard plans to muscle you out with construction noise. Maybe I'll say that after we got the Ruby information out of her. I will quickly ask Liliane about Ruby as well. Oh, wait a second. Look who's here.
I'll just keep the Cor de Leche in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
She winds the mooring line around the post.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way. Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, detectives.
She fastens the end of the line around the post and straightens her back.
It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
So, how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She casts her gaze towards the village, slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
She squints her eyes.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's
Oh boy.
react. Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
You're right to be scared. This is all your fault. You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. She's a woman. She doesn't know how to use a sword. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. This place is doomed either way, or say nothing. Oh, that's gonna sting again.
So am I. And I do know how to use one.
She leans against the railing, looking up at the grey sky.
Above you, there forms a quilt of alto-cumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
This fishing village, this island, or this Isola, let's say Isola.
Yes, in Cielinde.
No, you haven't told me how they found it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
Oblivion? That's so me.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Tell me now, we have time.
Do we?
He glances at his watch. It doesn't look like he does.
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
This story she will tell only before she leaves Martinez, at the very end of her stay.
Damn.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit.
So I've been dealing with Everard.
Oh,
Mr. Everard helped me find my gun.
I have a bad feeling about this. Please just say you have it. No loops, darling.
Check it out.
That's beautiful.
She inspected.
A Villiers 9mm. Front-loaded? 2 or 3 barreled?
3. It was not easy to get this gun back, I'll tell you that.
Villiers and LaSalle was one of the original 14 Indo tribes of Revachol. Did you know? Artillery and ballistics. Before the revolution, of course. They belong to some Gottwalders now.
She phrases it as if it's a pity. She also phrases it as a transition out of you waving your gun around.
Fair enough.
What else? It helps to sometimes hold inventory of the things you've achieved, you know. Clears the soul.
I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht.
Did you now?
She's
What sort of borscht is he making?
The cook makes it to keep the strikers drunk, helps them strike.
The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it?
Yes.
Why, if I may ask? Why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already?
Yes, Detective. What were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
I worship Al Ghul in many ways.
Very curious. A very curious thing to do.
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does things, ma'am, and then talks about them, even if it's inappropriate.
A strange equanimity has overtaken the lieutenant. He's just going with the flow now. Easier that way.
Oh no, we've broken him.
What else?
He asked me to open a door.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
No, I mean like a real door to open to someone's house.
Oh my. A real door?
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
I scared this Gary for Mr. Clare. He got pretty scared. I helped scare someone for Mr. Clare. It was nothing. It had to be done. I got information. It was useful to the case. I scared this Gary for Mr. Clare. He got pretty scared.
My. What I'm hearing is you inspected a premises because you suspected that it was involved in the narcotics trade. And in the process, you turned up some information relevant to your investigation. Only from Everard, surprisingly.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing.
He turns to you.
This seems serious.
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Okay, the Union's militant wing organized the lynching. Everard says the Wild Pines sent mercenaries after the Union and now one's dead. Everard asked the Union's militant wing to fully cooperate with the investigation. That's all I've got to say. The Union's militant wing organized the lynching.
Yes, that's the talk about town. The Hardy Boys, they're called. Find the name rather amusing, honestly.
Everard says the Wild Pines sent mercenaries after the Union and now one's dead.
Misinformation. This is all because we haven't shared information on the lynching yet. See? Already the adversary uses it to their advantage. Don't let him. Hurry up on that probe. The moment you tell me you're finished at the traffic jam, I will gladly tell you the company's side of the story.
She was worried for a moment that she's overplayed her hand by not sharing info sooner. Then she settles down, curious to hear more.
Everard asked the Union's militant wing to fully cooperate with the investigation.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't already.
While we appreciate your assistance, ma'am, I'm afraid we can't discuss the specifics of an ongoing investigation with you.
That is only fair.
This militant wing has singled out a suspect for me. I have reason to believe the lynching was a cover-up. I've said all I can. I have reason to believe the lynching was a cover-up.
Oh my. Very interesting. So the militant wing is protecting one of their own. It looks like you may untie this knot yet.
Her eyes smile and a tingle runs down your spine.
There's something in you that really likes the way she's looking at you just now.
That's all I've got to say.
Naturally, Detective. There are lighter topics to gossip about.
He asked me to deliver an envelope.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it?
Here.
Here? Oh no. What does that bloated hellbat want with my little cinder block town?
It's clear the village has already grown dear to her. Strangely so. Why did she come here?
No, don't tell me. I don't want to know what he has in store for this place. Probably a statue. It's a statue, right? A giant statue of him. Or better yet, his twin brother. Practically the same thing, but makes him seem less like a psychopath.
He wants to build a youth center here for the children of Martinez. You're quite fond of this village, aren't you? You would prefer something else, not a youth center? He wants to build a youth center here for the children of Martinez.
A youth center with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it.
She looks down the jetty remorsefully.
Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him.
You're quite fond of this village, aren't you?
I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez. He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders. He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another.
You've been to Martinez before?
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My paramour certainly did not.
Sounds like you missed those times.
Not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like reavers. We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine.
She tosses her head.
Oh no, she's sentimental, all right. Why would she come here otherwise?
Why did you come here then, to this jetty?
I'm over-radiated, Harry. I do silly things sometimes, out of pale-related illness. Like sail over here. The moral of the story is...
She lists.
Do not spend 22 days a year in pale transit. Don't waste your 20s slumming it with your stupid friends. And don't deliver Everard Clare's mail.
Her bony finger is pointed like an arrow at your chest.
Are you satisfied, Detective? What else can you tell me about your mail delivery quest for Everard? Do you think it will improve the place?
She's pointing it quite hard in there. Feels like a knife.
So you would prefer something else, not a youth center?
First, there won't be a youth center. Whatever he has told you or the residents, there'll be something horrific, perhaps even worse than a statue. So, yes, I do.
Like what?
A fishery. I've been speaking with Lillian here. She gave me the idea. The infrastructure is all here, and with my connections... Sadly, it's just one of the million things I'll never get round to. I just have to accept that I'll never be the rich candy girl who goes around solving people's problems with money.
So you're sad you can't buy the place?
Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
She is more defensive about it than usual.
Okay.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information?